Concattedrale Sant'Antimo ENG cloister, museum, monastery. As often happened, the church was built where there was a previous religious building. It was the hermitage of San Michele Arcangelo of the Augustinian friars, who had settled in Piombino after 1256, when the hermits from Falcone and Palmaiola had moved to Piombino following the general reunion of these friars decreed by Pope Alexander IV. Today, the full title of the church is Co-Cathedral Archpriest Abbey of Sant'Antimo Martyr. The first term is due to the 1978 change of name of the diocese from Populonia Massa Marittima to Piombino Massa Marittima. The third, an honorary by virtue of the decree of June 25, 1960, of the Holy Consistorial Congregation. In the 70s of the 14th century, Piombino was under the peasant authorities of Piero Gambacorta, who wanted to build a large church in the second city of his domain. The epigraph to the left of the facade attributes the decision of being built in 1377. The style is Romanesque, Gothic tempered by various elements such as hanging arches of the eaves and side single and apse with pointed arches. It belongs to the type of church called Franciscan, but commonly implemented at least in Tuscany by all the mendicant orders. Originally, the church presented a single large nave, with rectangular apse and gabled roof with wooden trusses, with terracotta flooring replaced in 1933 by marble slabs. The bezel of the portal presents a mosaic of the Vatican School of 1939, dedicated to San Michael Archangel to remember the first dedication of the church. The 13th century Augustinian hermitage occupied the entire space of the presbytery, with the entrance from the current door of the sacristy and the altar located where the niche of Our Lady is placed. The 16th century polychrome marble altar was placed in 1810, when Princess Elisa Bonaparte Baciocchi asked for it to be sent from a deconsecrated Church of Lucca. In the counterfront are placed two tombs of the Appiani. Entering on the left, there is a 1470 edicule by Andrea di Francesco Guardi, which preserves the bodies of two children, sons of Jacopo III Appiani. The other, more monumental, encloses the body of Emanuele Appiani, Lord of Piombino from 1451 till 1457. In 1933, the church went through a general restoration, which led to some significant changes, such as the creation of the small left aisle where it is placed, one of the best work that the sculptor Andrea di Francesco Guardi has left in Piombino. The marble baptismal font dated 1470. This consists of three parts blended in a single work: the base carved with acanthus leaves, its multifaceted top with emblems of Appiani and Cherubini, and the pinnacle which at the peak had to have either a cross or a statue of the Baptist. At the end of the left nave, in 1937, was built the shrine of the people from Piombino fallen in the First World War, work of architect Ugo Giovannozzi with bronzes and crucifix by the sculptor Italo Orlando Griselli. In the south side of the church it is placed the cloister, wanted by Jacopo III Appiani in 1470 and built by Andrea Guardi, with a portico supported by 20 elegant columns with all different capitals. The crest of the commissioner is carved in the beams of the cornice columns. The three rooms that overlook the cloister host the Civic Diocesan Museum. In the first, you can admire some works by Guardi, Ciolo and Marco d'Astiano. In the second, there are church ornaments, chasubles, glory cards, books and two sculptures. In the third, there are paintings, tombstones, a mural painting of the Madonna del Latte of the second half of the 15th century, a wooden crucifix carved and painted by Florentine artists of the third decade of the 16th century. The religious complex is completed with the adjacent Augustinian convent of the late 15th, early 16th century. The building is waiting for a complete restoration to return to its ecclesiastical use. The front, St. Augustine Square, highlights the porch with round arches in brick and with columns and capitals in sandstone.